Hello, everybody. I'm so glad to be here with you to talk about a subject that I am incredibly passionate about and believe deeply in. My name is Charlie Kouns. I'm the founding steward of Imagining Learning, and I'm here to share on this topic that I'm going to show you right now. And that topic is the collective vision of young people is the future of education. And I believe this fully and most heartily. And I'm here today to show you and demonstrate on behalf of young people why I believe this. I believe if we were to invite young people into the process of transforming their learning, we would unleash untold possibilities. They haven't been invited before into the conversation in a very big way, bits and pieces, but that's about it. But if we were to invite them in, here's why. They care deeply. They have a deep caring for this subject. They possess a powerful wisdom about deeper issues. Their innocence enables them to speak the truth. They want to contribute. They want to be asked to be and participate. And they've pondered all of this considerably. And this makes them ready and in great position to issue us an invitation. And that invitation today is this. So who is imagining learning? We're a visioning process that's based in collective listening. And for the past few years, we've traveled around the country listening to young people about how they would transform education. And by doing it over and over and over again, we're creating a national collective voice in the United States about their wisdom of how they would do this. So the question is, how do we do it? And we do this through listening sessions. These are for teens ages 13 to 19 to come together like this group here to participate. And we usually have anywhere from 6 to 12, but typically we like to have 8. That's a good optimal number for the sessions. And they come together and for 3 hours. And then during that 3-hour period, we go through quite a process with them. And the first section is 3 phases that we open with a circle. So we're all together, nobody's higher than anybody else. And we explain to them why we're here, and we're beginning to generate safety. We all introduce ourselves. We go over what we're going to do for the day. And then we move quickly into the second phase, which is journal questions. In that phase, we ask them 8 different questions that are about things like, what does it feel like when you were most alive? Or tell us about someone that you cared about when you were really young. And so it develops a sense of trust as they begin to, after they answer the questions, begin to share them with each other out loud. A third phase then is a wisdom question that we ask them, which has been, tell us about a time when someone else's wisdom changed your life. And so they then write the story down and then they share that with each other. And this is sort of a look of the journal questions. Everybody gets a sheet with their own questions. They begin to fill them out with markers and paper. And this is what it looks like. They do the same thing with the wisdom question. That takes about 2 hours. The second part of this aspect is that they go into a creation phase, which is what is your vision for education? And we'll get to the question we asked them in a second. But the first part, they work together in groups. So we might take a group of 8 and divide them into 2 groups of 4, where they co-create their vision together. And then they paint it on a 4.5 foot by 6 foot sheet of paper. And finally, they share that with each other. And then they close, the circle closes. And in this phase, we videotape everything that they say, so we have word for word what their thinking and visioning was. So here's the question we ask them. And basically, we say, we're going to divide you into groups. Here's your group. And now, if you could create a learning journey that you absolutely loved, with all the resources you wanted and without any influence from others, what would you create? And from there, we say, go answer the question. And we don't give them any help. We don't, in terms of suggestions or trying to shape the content of whatever they're going to create. And this makes them a little nervous, but eventually they get into it. And you'll see in a minute, the results are pretty astounding. So this is a look at them visioning together. And they're working through what they're going to do, how they're going to paint, and what the vision is. And the average time is about 15 minutes before they're ready to go. And so we're now putting the paints out, and now they start to paint their visions. And as you can see, they get quite excited, quite involved. And I'd like to share with you now just a couple of the paintings that have been done so that you get an idea of what they're creating. So this painting, I'm going to read you word for word what they presented at the time. This is a group from Mill Valley, California. This is not a blueprint, but an abstract expression of how it feels to be there. The man with the vine at the bottom left represents a curriculum that is flexible and based on curiosity. The black door to the left represents entering the school, not knowing who you are, but with each step growing a little more pleased until you leave by way of the other black door to places where you do not know where you're going, but you know who you are. The man in the upper left corner represents experiential learning, and that we grow toward what we want with each other. At the top center is a vision symbol here, and this is their symbol. It says that it's a plus sign and an equal sign that have been put together to form one symbol standing for equality and inclusiveness. And the hearts and the vine in the upper right corner represent how you are treated and that everything and everyone is growing. The splatters of paint represent creativity and randomness of learning. So that's one painting. I'll do another for you. I think I'll go to the last one here in the interest of time. This painting is about many things. The face is happiness. The mountains represent peacefulness and our journey for knowledge. The books represent learning and knowledge, and they can lift you up. The boat is carrying all of us together. The cloud-like structure at the top of the center represents a collection of ourselves, and we all come together and teach each other, and the long black strands represent the teaching coming down into the world. The entire landscape is how a school should be. It is beautiful and happy, welcoming, and it involves everyone, just like a school should be. The splashes show how diverse the school community can be. So by doing these sessions with young people all around the country, and I hope you're seeing that the content of what they're creating is quite deep and quite beautiful and very insightful. There are certain themes that go into each painting. And the more we did this around the country, the more certain themes started to emerge over and over again. And what I'd like to do is present to you what those themes are, and the fact that they represent what the collective voice is. And this collective voice has a lot of significance if we would just listen. So I'm going to share with you that the themes came in 4 categories: the learning culture, how we learn, self-discovery, and what we learn. Some of the major themes now that I want to share with you are, the first one was the love is the foundation. They felt very strongly that the school system should be created with a love for the students in mind. And this was one that painting that suggested that. The community in the school is strong, and the community outside the school is supportive and safe. All is built on a foundation of love. Another major theme was growth, voice, and gifts. They really wanted the curriculum to include helping them to grow. They wanted to help them find their voice and use their gifts. And this is a classic one. The overall theme is of a school that serves as a tree, where students arrive with shallow roots, but through their experience develop their own deep roots. It's a place where they live to learn. You can imagine the excitement that would be there if they were living to learn. The third theme is curiosity-based and experiential learning. This painting is labeled experience because it is what most learning should be about. It's about experiential learning. Each of the green plants represent some other learning you have with roots going down to experience. The word experience is at the core of the earth. We believe the core of learning is experience. Another one was teaching and learning and accomplishing together. They really want to have opportunities to teach each other what they know, and share their wisdom with each other, as well as with their mentors and teachers. Learning is best done when we are learning from each other and gathering our collective experiences, so we may use the learning for a better life. The boat on the water reflects that education is about self-exploration, and it is important to learn by seeing, by experience. This is also based on travel and exploration. So big themes there. Another was thriving in community. They really want to know how to be in community together and with others in their communities around them. Let's take a look at this. Through giving back and being independent, we make up the world. So we drew these itty bitty people to make up the world. Each person being independent and an individual adds to society, and together we are one and can accomplish a lot and make a world. They are all interacting together. And so they very much saw themselves as part of a very interconnected world that they wanted to be a part of. And going hand in hand with that was cultural immersion. They really wanted to be immersed in other cultures around the world, so they could learn about those. And this is one of the paintings that expressed that. In our vision, the earth symbolized home. In the bottom left are 2 people talking. They both travel a lot and talk a lot to a lot of people. In our painting, they are exchanging ideas and different cultures to each other. And through this, people understand each other much better, and the whole world is more peaceful. Beautiful expression. And the last theme I'd like to share with you is learning in and connected to nature. There was just the deepest desire to be really reconnected, I guess you would say, to nature through their learning. The school is located on the ocean, where a sense of peace, serenity, and visual greatness are encouraged. There's a community flower and vegetable garden, so the students grow their own food. Growing food has proven to unify things and make it more cohesive community. All food served is organic and healthy. And I'd like to add that I'm just excerpting from each one of these paintings. As you'll see, there's many other themes that are in them as well, but these are excerpted to accentuate the themes that I'm sharing with you. So here they are again. Love is the foundation. Teaching and learning and accomplishing together. Learning in and connected to nature. Thriving in community. Curiosity-based experiential learning. Growth, personal growth, voice, personal voice, gifts, and cultural immersion globally. So if you look beneath the themes, there's some other deep messages emerging. So for example, with the curiosity-based experiential learning and cultural immersion globally, they're expressing a freedom to explore. They want to be trusted to do that. And their foundational belief is that through that, they will gain the high levels of self-responsibility. If you look at their cultures, the qualities that they express through the paintings, these words bring forward a lot of the qualities that they had. And you can see they're all powerful, positive, deeply inspiring words that could be filled within the system. And so if you take that positive energy and love as the foundation and put them together, they really are calling for a system that they feel really supports them. Somebody's holding them from underneath. So that innate value then is care. And the foundational belief, as we expressed before, is love. Also, growth, voice, and gifts and learning in and connected to nature is they're sensing about themselves in relationship to others and to nature. Their innate value is stewardship. And through this, there's a foundational belief emerging that they really want to learn about and experience the interconnection of all life. So teaching, learning, accomplishing together, and thriving in community are about mentoring and guidance. Over and over again, they just said, we want our elders to be our mentors. We want them to be passionate about our lives and where we're headed. And we would like that to feel like a partnership, like we're involved in that as well. And then a shared wisdom. So these four big beliefs: self-responsibility, love, interconnection, and shared wisdom, were expressed beneath those themes. So we had a very short time to present, so there's a much more content to be shared, and I'm happy to share that with you at any time if you just get in touch, and I have that at the end of the presentation. There's a powerful wisdom being expressed, a deep sense of caring and hope. They want to be taken seriously, and as we could see, they generated all of this within 3 hours. So their creativity and their passion can rise very quickly, and they can become very present when we listen. If you're a young person who has been watching this, or you know of young people around the world who would be interested in it, please share this message with them. We believe in you. We know you carry a deep wisdom as to how to transform education. This is not come from kids that we handpicked. These are from young people who stepped up and said, we'd like to have our voices heard. It was fantastic, and we feel so deeply honored to have been there to have listened. So thank you from all of them, and here's a look at some of them after they'd completed their sessions. Thank you again for listening. And you can get in touch with us at www.imagininglearning.us or email me at charlie@imagininglearning. Thank you so much.